Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your host, the XRP Agent. I'm better than most, but not as good as some. And today, we have a green stream. We have a boost in the market. Hey, I'm excited. Are you? But a little housekeeping. Yesterday, I saw this crazy video, commercial on GP. So I was working on my video, did some edits, uploaded it. I got a warning from YouTube, so I had to take it down. Since I had to take it down, I did some tweaks to the commercial and re-uploaded it and re-uploaded that video. I had to edit it a little bit and take out some content that the powers that be did not like. So, all that said, let's get into the show. Now, what we're going to be covering today is the market. We're going to go on to a tweet from Happy XRP, and then this video from Trexia XRP, and XRP, the Standard Productions, just released something about 60 minutes. Before I get into the article or the tweet of XRP Standard Productions, I would like to make a friendly request. Please subscribe if you like the content, like the videos if you like it. If you don't like it, put a thumbs down. Leave your comments below. I try to get to all the comments, and sometimes I highlight the comments on my videos. So if you have something important to say and you think you should be heard, leave a comment or send me a message. But if you like, my style of presenting the news and my opinions, and that's just my opinions, I'm not a financial advisor, please subscribe. I really appreciate your views, your input, and let's get back into the news. And thank you for subscribing. So let's dig in. We have a quick show for you today. So the market right now, BTT, Bitcoin dominance is at 68%. All right. Now let's look at Bitcoin. It's at 7,553. Now, the last hour it dropped 13%, but look at that. In the last 24 hours, a whole 1.5%, 1.52% increase in the last 24 hours. Ethereum, how's she looking? 141. All right, that's a gain of 4%, 4.22. The XRP, wow, 21%. 21 cents from yesterday's 19 cents. And that's, I think it was as high as 10 point something percent earlier. But right now, it's at 8.0, right in front of our eyes, 9.2% before it changes. Now, in the last hour, you see some dips and stuff like that. Don't panic. Don't get your panties in a bunch. It's just natural. People's going to be taking profits. I'm not a financial advisor, but I suggest you lay out a plan and have targeted goals. So once your cryptocurrency meets those price markers, you take a little bit out. Don't mess with the principal. Just take off a little bit off the interest. Let that compound interest work for you when it start going up. All right. So we see liquidity moving. 21.34. Ain't this a pretty screen? See see how it's coming up. Let me see, where was yesterday? Yeah, yesterday we was right here at 19 cents. Then you can see it start gradually moving up some more, and then boom, we started coming up, and now this is gradual. It's a little bump right here, but when you see those parabolic raises, get a little worried, because if it's going to go up like that, it's going to, come back down, maybe just as hard. But as long as it gradually increase, like if we get like 2 or 3 cents a day for the next couple of days, I think that's pretty normal. Because I think when the bull run happened, it was going up quite a few cents every day until it reached $3.50 or $3.80 or something like that during the first bull run. So for those people who are like kind of crypto depressed, now you got a little bit of hope in the air. I'm happy it's moving up. Hopefully people see green, they won't be so vindictive to other fellow YouTubers and community members. You'd be like, hey, I'm putting some money in my pocket, I'm happy. So that's just me. All right, what is next in the news? Let's thank Happy XRP at Justin GOH. South Korean President Commission wants to bring crypto into mainstream finance. Coinbase. Financial institutions should be allowed to offer cryptocurrency products, such as derivatives, according to a government advisory body in South Korea. Now, this is just another added piece to the puzzle that crypto is becoming more and more adopted throughout the world. And I think once all the pieces get put together, it will relinquish a lot of bad blood around the world. If we have a pipeline set up where we can evenly trade, evenly, do goods and services throughout the world, maybe it will bring more peace, because people want to make money. And if you have a good or service, I don't have to like you that much, but if I want to purchase your goods and services, we're going to have at least a cordial relationship. It's been times I sold property, I do not like the buyer or the seller, as far as, our personalities do not clash. But since I'm trying to get them the best deal and they're trying to, move on with their life, we're working together so we can have a good outcome. And I believe eventually, this is my fictitious hope for the world, that cryptocurrency will bring peace in the Middle East. I don't know. But if we all work together and try to be on one accord, maybe, nothing's going to be perfect. But I hope eventually the world becomes a better place. All right, what's next on the list? Trexia XRP. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. XRP, boom, just exporter remittances is a $155 trillion problem solved. Naveen Gupta, hope I'm pronouncing that hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Tongue twister. Ripple targets 532 trillion global derivatives market. Now this is a video, and I believe this came out a while back. But if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a great video. So let's see what Mr. Gupta has to say.
How do you think, what is the next move, on Ripple's roadmap, in your opinion? To put you on the spot here.
No, it's very simple. So I think one thing, if there is one message that you can get in this room, is Ripple is not an ordinary company. We are not here to have a small market share or do X, do Y, and make small amount of money or something to happen. We are here to make a dent in the universe. Either we will change the remittance universe, the way you understand, the way value gets transferred across the world, between people, between institutions, or we will just fade away. So it's almost 0 or 1, and some of it comes from our Silicon Valley arrogance. Some of it comes from, that's the reason 6 years ago we were born with the mission of moving money like information moves today, right? And we are making it possible working with the existing ecosystem. So I think this is a key differentiator about Ripple, and that's the reason we are a monoline company. Every day we get tens of ideas to say, why don't you do security settlement? Why don't you work in trade finance? Why don't you do X, Y, Z? And what we tell them is, just cross-border remittances is $155 trillion problem. We'll solve this first. We'll make a difference to everybody who's present in this room. And once we have made the difference, then only we will look at something else. So we are like Google is for search, Ripple is for remittances. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it right, and we will not rest till we earn your respect and your business.
Wow. They're all in. If they don't make it, they're going to fail. It's either we're going to succeed or we're going to fail. And that's a very good mindset. And I believe they got that mindset from Brad Garlinghouse, because from being in other businesses, he saw how different businesses were just spreading themselves too thin. The peanut butter manifesto. Look that up if you don't know what I'm talking about. And he was like, hey, we have to focus on one thing, remittances, and this $1 trillion problem with these pre-funded accounts, nostro vostro. So once we handle this, once we tackle this, everything else is going to be a breeze, because they're handling the toughest problem in the economy. The recession wouldn't have had the effect it had if all these billions of dollars wasn't tied up the way they were. But that's a different story. But we was in that mess because of greed and all that other stuff, banks and mortgage lenders, and the whole system was just corrupt and just ballooned out of proportion. Now we have a new problem that from the quantitative easing, and it's even bigger. So if the plumbing does not get finalized and implemented and used before this national debt pops or explodes or goes wacky, we're going to be in some big trouble. So just in case, it is not synced properly, you need to make sure that you have a plan in place where if this recession comes, you can withstand it. Have some living expenses set aside. They always say you should have 3 to 6 months of living expenses. I would say double that just in case. if we do go into a recession or something happens, different people talk to me, well, is it a good time to buy? I'm like, well, it's depending on what you're purchasing. You purchasing a house, an investment property, condo, or multifamily apartment complex. It depends. If you're buying a single family home, I'm like, well, what type of career are you in? Is it recession proof? So these are the things I ask my clients before we, move forward. I'm not just like any other agent. It's like, oh, I'm just going to just take your money and run, try to help you buy something or sell something, and then, something happens. I'm going to make sure that you know all the facts, know what I think, is coming down the pike, and let you make the financial decisions, and I'm going to support you on that, right, wrong, or whatever, because you made your own decisions. So that's just my 2 cents. And if you're not subscribed to her Twitter, subscribe to her Twitter. Thank you for the information. I gave her a tip on the XRP tip bot. Happy New Year. Now let's go to the next one. All right. XRP, the Standard Productions. If you not subscribe. All right. Now he just tweeted, breaking news, a way to waste another Sunday, 60 minutes. I was like, what? When I first saw this, I was like, what? I watch 60 Minutes. I don't watch it regularly like I used to, but, when I get extra time, I think about 60 Minutes. I go on to my Streamcast or whatever. I knock me out of the show. But I was like, I don't remember them talking about 60 Minutes. And he has Coil, so I suggest you go to his Coil page and read the article, because it's very, I like his colorful language. It's a must read. But these news outlets, these different people, they are hiding the truth from us. They're not showing us what's happening. They're not gonna let the little guy, me, you, and your brother down the street realize what's taking place. I like how the bearable bull puts it. He goes deep. He has no nonsense. I wish I could talk like him. He's like, these news outlets won't let you know what's going on. They're gonna hide the truth and let you be bewildered and lethargic and not understand what's going on, because the great wealth transfer is taking place. I'm not making fun of him. I just love how he talks and how he does it. But man, I hope he covers this, because it's a divide between the wealthy, the middle class, and the rest of us, the poor. I was like, hey, I'm in that poor category. I was like looking at a gauge. They was like, if you're making $0 to $20,000, you're poor in the U.S. And another one was 21 to 50,000, you're middle class. And then from 51,000 on up, you're considered wealthy in America. I'm like, what kind of gauge is this? I gotta find that gauge. I saw it like a few years ago, but maybe they calibrated it since then. Another realtor gave it to me. I gotta find that gauge. But I was like, this is unrealistic. I'm like, no. But they were saying that the middle class is getting shrunken more and more. And once the great wealth transfer takes effect, it probably won't be no more middle class. It's just be the The rich, the haves, and the have-nots, the poor. And you just need to be prepared for it. Plan now, because this little bump that we seeing right now at 20, from 19 to 21%. Where we at? 38%. Let me refresh this puppy. Let me make sure I'm current. Yeah. What if 19 cents, January 5th, 2020, is the last day ever? Let me bring this up. Yeah, there we go. When did it hit 20 cents? Yeah, it hit 20 cents on the 6 in the morning or something like that. But let me move it back here. All right, look. January 5th, 5 is my favorite number. That'd be a good date to remember. But just think of it. January 5th, 2020. Just put this in your head. I'm just saying, is the last time ever we see 19 cents. What if? Maybe I'm thinking, it's like the first of the year, these banks are able to custodize these cryptocurrencies. Just think, what happens if this is the catalyst for the bull market? Maybe it might be a bear trap where it bounces up a little bit and then come crashing back down. I don't think so, but it could be. But look at these corridors. Look at these payment rails moving about, if you call them that. It's moving faster and faster, more and more. And once everything gets to A-OK and they flip the switch, just imagine this. It's switched around, to 4, 5, 6, 50, 100, 200, $1,500, $5,000. That's life changing. So this is the XRP agent. I know I went on kind of a rant right now, but do not believe the FUD. Just be patient. Hold on. As you can see, just that quickly, the market has shot up just a little bit on Ripple. The world will run on Ripple. Do you have your bags set? Do you have your exit plan set? Your family, your financial future depends on your wise decisions. Stick to your exit strategy, and you should be okay. This is the XRP agent. Until next time, later.